has probably seen something animated. But I must say, animation is such a versatile and beautiful medium to express stories, ideas, emotions, and so much more. Today I'm covering up to the 1920s in animation. Now, a common misconception is that animation evolved alongside film, and this is partially correct. The two mediums were very closely related. However, animation actually existed before film. The first few animations were in the 1800s, consisting of typically handheld devices. These included the zoetrope, which you could spin to see an animation, and the kineograph, which was patented in 1863, which is known today as a flipbook. From there, film did begin to develop, and so did animation as well. We actually get one of the first animated films ever, by J. Stuart Blackman. Now, he recorded a few animations, one of which is called Humorous Phases of Funny Faces. From there, animated films began to develop. An artist would draw an image, photograph it, and change it slightly. Photograph it, and repeat again and again. However, this could leave some animators limited in what they could do. In this section that you can see on screen, Blackman drew on a chalkboard due to its ability to erase quite easily. Now, artists like Winsor McCay, who is one of, if not the biggest name in American animation during this period, made an assortment of films, such as How a Mosquito Operates, Gertie the Dinosaur, and the film that, in my opinion at least, had the largest effect on history, The Sinking of the Lusitania. Within this film, there's a haunting visual of an idea of what the sinking of the Lusitania may have looked like, which severely impacted many citizens' opinions on whether America should get involved with the First World War. And this leads into my next point. Why do people even bother to make animation? As somebody who's animated myself, it's time-consuming, very tedious, and especially without the modern technology we have today, it's even more so. Well, it would take even more time. Well, according to Judith and Jack Halsberstein, I hope I'm pronouncing that right, animation allows artists to capture, simply put, movement, but they argue, in a larger sense, humanity. Other sources agree with their statement that an animation is able to show so much more than a still drawing can. While still art can capture emotions and ideas, animation is just better at it. And with the ability to capture it on film, there's no shock that animation began to become commonplace. Characters emerged, such as Nemo the Clown, who was one of the first examples of rotoscoping. Rotoscoping is it's a pretty popular technique where you had a photo and you drew on top of the photo. This method emerged because of many animators thinking that the movement that they got with typical animation didn't really look like lifelike movement. So they took directly from life and drew on top of that. Another character that eventually popped up in Steamboat Willie, which was created in 1928, who's a beloved character to this very day. Art not only functions as an outlet, but also a time capsule. We can see what was considered funny, controversial, commonplace, and get a huge idea of the culture of this era. However, any art, especially animation, can not only imitate life, but also impact it, as shown with The Sinking of the Lusitania. This film, as I stated above, led to many citizens rallying to go to war and fight Germany. Also, this early animation, and if it wasn't for the animations of this period, we likely would have never gotten the animations that we do today, and would have never gotten from hand-drawn to computerized to the 3D animations we see today. Yeah,